going to the gym this morning and starting a workout lab. I'll do it tomorrow. My knee felt pretty messed up this morning, so wanted to give it an extra day of rest. And also had some work to do here at home. Therefore, it got postponed. But that's okay. That's life. My right shoulder has been pretty tight, and also my right knee. I don't know. Now that I mentioned it, I started thinking if they are somehow related. I guess they aren't, but it's always possible. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna actually go take this live outside. I'm gonna go see one of my properties. There was an unfortunate chain of events on Friday. I just got a letter from an appeals court here locally about a change of use permit, like a rezoning type permit for one of my properties. It's a waterfront vacation home that I was trying to turn into a year-round residence by basically converting it into the main house into a guest house and adding buildable square footage to the lot so that whoever buys that from me, that piece of land, would be able to buy a brand new year-round single family home there. And unfortunately, one of the neighbors nearby appealed, sent a complaint, and it went to the appeals court, and the ruling came back on Friday. Unfortunately for me, fortunately for them, citing them, favoring their appeal. And now I'm stuck with the property that was supposed to be a nice 200K flip for me without really putting any cash into it. But life doesn't always work that way, like in this case. So now I'm stuck with the property, and I'm have to figure out a way how to get rid of it by still making hopefully some money. And yeah, I was planning on driving there now and seeing what the situation is, and then go from there. It's a nice sunny day. Well, it's not really sunny, but kind of bright. It's foggy this morning. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. And now I just have to deal with that mess. I already contacted my realtor. Hey, JJ, what's going on, buddy? Just getting ready to go outside. I was just telling people that there was some bad news. There was some bad news on Friday. I got a letter from the local appeals court about a property I own. I was planning on flipping that, turning it into a nice 200K profit, but all of a sudden, the neighbor who complained about my rezoning application or permit, the city already approved it. So a neighbor who basically did the same thing with their property, ironically, they complained. They didn't like the idea that I'm frontline, meaning I have a waterfront property and they are like behind me, the second row, if you will. So their whole argument was that the additional square footage I was trying to add to the property was too much based on the zoning map and zoning regulations. And then also their other argument was that this might potentially block their sea view. Okay, well, interesting if you don't have a sea view to begin with, but Johnny Sins, yeah, I know this starts every time. Did you guys hear? You probably were not here yesterday when I did my live. I got Bruce Willis for the first time. Johnny Sins is always there. John Cena, Zinedine Zidane, the soccer player, the French retired soccer player. What state? No, the property. It's not in the States. It's here in Europe. Yeah, but so now I'm stuck with that piece of shit. And the problem was that when I bought it, I paid $330. My plan was to flip it with the additional square footage, with the rezoning approved, it probably would have been worth anywhere between $550 and $570. So I hired an architect, put together the plans. The city already approved it, and now since the complaint from the neighbor, now the appeals court, unfortunately, I thought it was going to be a slam dunk that they side with me. It was just like there was not even a chance or even thought in my mind, that would basically not support it. But anyhow, life happens. Maybe this is karma teaching me a lesson. Never take anything for granted. But the funny thing is that now this potential 200K profit turned into maybe a break-even deal. Good times, huh? So I'm gonna go see it now and see what I need to do to get it ready for listing, because obviously I need to try to get rid of it. Of course, I could turn it into a summertime vacation rental, but I'm not really favoring that. I would need to make some minor repairs. But the biggest bottleneck or hurdle for me to be able to sell it now is probably the condition of the property, because when I bought it, I thought it was not supposed to be a factor at all. But then we'll see. Oh, Europe law. Frankie. Jason. Yeah, JJ, that I hear a lot too. Jerry Kinney, peace be with you, and may God strengthen your heart and mind. Oh, thank you. Same thing happens here in the States. I know. I've done a lot of real estate in California, so I know all about that stuff. And this is one, this is a historic building too. So you have the Coastal Commission, right? In California, it's very strong, for instance. The same thing here. I'm in Finland now. Even though I'm a dual citizen, I go back and forth, but now I'm in Finland. I was born and raised here. But anyhow, so I've been doing real estate here for many, many years. But this story is interesting. I've done many of these rezoning flips, so to say, where obviously there's always a risk. I mean, risk and reward go in hand. But you need to understand the risk-reward ratio every time you enter a deal. This time it backfired, but I'm still hoping that I'm going to list it at 390 probably. So if I get anywhere between that and the 330, well, maybe I put 10K into it, factoring the architect plans and whatnot. So we'll see. Gotta put my socks on now and get going. I'm going to show you the property if you're interested in seeing it. Trump 2028, Mike. You know me from somewhere. The Stone. Yeah, I know. Were you a realtor? Do you have your face on a billboard somewhere? No, not a realtor. No. Finland seems cheap real estate. It depends. Waterfront properties are expensive everywhere you go. But this one, it's a smaller city. Yeah, I mean, you're right. For a piece of land, basically 500K. Yeah, waterfront, yes, but it's not by the ocean, but it's by the sea, by the Baltic Sea. So it's not a lakefront property, it's a seafront property. Yeah, and it's nice. It's 15 minutes from the city. Good location. The summer house itself is crappy. There are 3 dwellings, a sauna building, like an outdoor sauna building. That's very Finnish, right? People want to go to sauna and then jump into the water. And then there's a shed, called a garage, in very bad condition. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Agent 47 was a real estate agent. Carissa Lawson, that's funny. Geez, nice. Wish I would have you. Anyhow, yeah, real estate is funny. You have so many ways to make money. People start by doing wholesale deals. You have bird dogs. You have people who knock on doors, and you have people who hand out flyers at the bottom of the food chain or the value chain, and then when you climb your way up. I've done basically new construction, single family, buy and sell, rentals, and large renovation projects, pretty much everything. And the market has been tough here over the last 2 or 3 years, so new construction has really dipped. The volume is down. And I own 4 parcels of land, 4 pieces of land where in that area, I used to build townhouses, like new construction projects. Now I'm actually selling those lots, and I focus on my rentals right now. Arizona is a great state to buy land. What part of Arizona? Correct, the waterfront, yeah, but okay, so it's basically a piece of land. So you have to build. And then this, like I said, zoning is the tricky part there, because this is zoned as it's not a year-round area, meaning some parts of town, like they are more protected. They want to cherish that original vacation type property living, so they don't want these fancy new dwellings there. So it's a little tricky. But yeah, if it was different, it would be definitely more. But that was my value increase, how I forced the appreciation to go higher by getting it rezoned. And then not build anything myself, just have it rezoned, add buildable square footage and flip it quickly and make 200K, right? That was the idea with that. But no, it's gonna be something different. I could turn it into an Airbnb, but I don't want to be an Airbnb operator. I have another vacation property that is for that, and I have a property manager for that house as well. But the fees are pretty high, and this is not as exclusive the way it is. I would need to get it remodeled, which I don't want to do. So this one I just sell. I would just want to get rid of it and use the money for something else. What's the topic here? There's really no topic. It's just, me basically having a chat with everybody. I just wanted to share some ideas and a story from last Friday. I actually recorded a video. It's on my real estate channel, not on this channel, but I have 2 YouTube channels. So this one where I talk about mindset and kind of personal development stuff, mainly from my own experience. And then I also have another channel which I launched a few weeks ago, which is exclusively and specifically about my real estate and business stuff. Go check it out if you want. EJ Suvanto Real Estate. Malibu built close to Oceanwood. Yeah, Airbnbs are tricky. It's not always a slam dunk, but like I said, I have a large house that's also a vacation home, and we just started actually this year, this summer in July and August, those 2 months. I had 17 nights and 12 nights, so 29 nights this summer. And it actually turned out better than expected. So the operator I hired, call it property manager, they have their own cleaners, so they don't use an outside crew for that. So they vertically integrated in that sense, so they have everything in-house. They have their own booking system, and they take good care of the guests and whatnot. So I was really pleased with that. But obviously when you deduct the VAT or the sales tax, and then you deduct their commission and the Airbnb fees and the cleaning fees and all that, I'm looking at probably 60% of the gross revenue being my net. But it was pretty okay, because our average nightly rate was roughly 1,000. So that was okay still. Johnny Sins is on again, yes. That's crazy. Real estate related, yes. Yeah, it's good. I mean, well, let's get going. I'm going to show it to you. Stay online. I'm going to just hop in the car and let me just see what I need from here. I got to leave this tripod here. I don't need that. What else do I need? I guess I don't need anything. Just get going. Just get going. Yeah, I'm going to show it to you. It's not a secret. You can also watch my video, which is going to be published today, where you can see the breakdown of that thing, meaning the numbers. Let me think. Yeah, but every business, I mean, it's the same thing. No matter what you do, there's always risk involved. But if your happiness is tied to the end result, you're going to probably be disappointed most of the time, because that's how life works. Life is full of micro-level losses followed by an occasional win. So I've done a lot of thinking around this, and I'm just much better off if I disconnect myself from the outcome and just try to empty my tank on any given day and do my best. And then I know that a long enough time horizon, I always get what I deserve. So why do I worry about it? What's relevant for today? What's today's signal? Everything else is noise. You just do that. You empty your tank, you hustle like there's no tomorrow, and then, like I said, you always get what you deserve. No need to stress about it. Easier said than done, I know, of course. It's the hardest thing in life, right? Have to worry about stuff. Yep. Do I need my tripod? I don't think so. Grab you a beer and be happy. I don't drink beer really. I love your deep voice. How old are you, brother? I am Jeffrey Clark Kent 2.0. I am 49. I am 49. Just turned 49. Big 5-0 next year. That's crazy. Shit. I remember when I was like 20 or 21, talking to my friends, talking about our dads, how they used to be like, whatever, 48, 49, 50. It's like, life must be over when you're that old. And you're approaching 50 yourself, and you're like, what the fuck happened? My son is almost 20, and my daughter's, almost 17. Anyway, everybody. Sorry. Politics is basically all about saying that there's one right way, and there's a solution, there's no trade-offs. And the reality is completely different. You don't solve anything by making a decision. It's always a trade-off. And I was thinking about making my next video about decision making, how actually people make this fundamental mistake of overthinking and trying to perfect things, and as a result they make decisions and mistakes rare and expensive, whereas they should make decision making so easy that the cost of making a mistake is very cheap. So make mistakes often and make them cheap instead of making them rare and expensive in your life. That's how I like to look at it. Because if you get paralyzed, usually it's fear that determines what you do or what you don't do in life. That's exactly that. Try to perfect everything. Waiting for that last piece of data. I'm not ready to launch my website. I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to leave a bad relationship. I'm not ready to start creating content online because I'm not ready. Well, you're never fucking ready. Guess what? If you know that you have to get a divorce, it's never gonna be easy. It's not gonna be the right time was yesterday. The best time is today. That applies to everything in life. The right time was yesterday. The best time is today. Okay, now we're almost there. For those